Dear students, today we are going to see the topic catalyst and its types. I am Dr. S. Rekha, Associate Professor, RMD Engineering College, Chennai. Let us get into the topic. What is catalysis or what is a catalyst? Catalyst is a substance when added to a reaction alters the rate of the reaction without itself being consumed or altered at the end of the reaction. Alters the rate. What is altering the rate? It may increase the reaction or decrease the rate of the reaction. If we add this catalyst into a reaction, it will increase or decrease the rate of reaction, and at the end of the process, the catalyst is available as it is for us. It does not involve in the reaction, and the process in which catalyst is involved is called as catalysis. The importance of catalysis, they are specific in nature, highly active in nature, they have long useful life. That is, every time a catalyst can be regenerated and utilized for the reaction. And generally, catalysts are used to increase the rate of the reaction rather than hindering the rate of the reaction. For example, carbon monoxide and hydrogen gas in the presence of nickel catalyst react faster and forms methane and water molecule. History of catalysis. It is an interesting history behind catalysis and a breakthrough in the industrial era where the catalyst play a vital role. Catalyst was found in 1835 by the scientist J.J. Berzelius, and he coined the term catalysis, meaning breaking down or loosening. A difficult process was broken down and loosened just by the addition of a catalyst, just by the process of catalysis. In 1908, a real catalysis occurred. It was the synthesis of ammonia. Any industry finds with great difficulty manufacturing of ammonia because nitrogen and hydrogen combine together to form ammonia. At the same rate, ammonia decomposes back to nitrogen and hydrogen. It was so difficult process. Until then, the catalyst was invented. Then the process became easier and simpler for the industry. And I can even tell that this process, synthesis of ammonia, gave birth to catalysis or catalyst. So Fritz Haber was the person to find the catalyst for this, and first he used the catalyst was osmium for the synthesis of ammonia, and still further research went on with the same synthesis of ammonia, and in 1913 Haber and Bosch put together, found out a catalyst, iron as a catalyst, and till date we are using this catalyst for commercializing ammonia synthesis. That was the breakthrough in the industry. And then any complex process, any difficult process in production was taken into account for the catalysis. All experiment went with catalyst and catalysis so that the process becomes easier. In 1928, again an important process, synthesis of methanol using carbon monoxide and hydrogen over zinc oxide and chromium oxide catalyst. And also the cracking of heavier petroleum fraction to gasoline using acid activated clay. Initially, cracking of heavy petroleum in 1928, it was carried out by acid activated clay. In 1932, alkylation, that is C3C4 olefins to branched C7C8 hydrocarbons, was done with aluminum chloride as catalyst. So another catalyst was found, aluminum chloride. So a lot of catalysts being discovered after 1908. In 1938, and most important reaction, Fischer-Tropsch synthesis of hydrocarbon from carbon monoxide and hydrogen over iron catalyst was again another breakthrough. And after on that, the research using, already you have studied about Langmuir and other scientists, they continued the invention and importance of catalyst and catalysis. how a catalyst speeds up a reaction. So we are going to focus on catalyst increasing the rate of the reaction. How a catalyst can alter the rate of the reaction or speed up the rate of the reaction. So here is the answer. It alters the path. It does not take the path. Actually, when a reaction in the absence of catalyst is occurring, it alters the path. How it alters the path? It alters the path by lowering the activation energy of the system. See the graph here. See the graph here. Here we have reactant at higher energy level and product at lower energy level. Only in this condition any reaction will take place. And see the path. The blue line is the actual path to be traveled for a reactant to get into product. But when I add a catalyst, it takes the red path, which is a smaller activation energy, and forms a product. So it is easier for it to jump this activation energy and get into product. So it increases the rate of the reaction by altering the path. How it alters the path is by lowering the activation energy. So this is the catalyst cycle. How a catalyst work? Something called active site. See here, this one is the active site here in the catalyst. So we have taken this as the active site in the catalyst. Now the compound A getting adsorbed to that shape. So catalysts are specific in nature. So they get adsorbed to this shape, and see the other active site where B can easily adsorb of different size or shape. It means it is unique in nature. So when these two come closer here, they easily react with each other and forms the product here, and product is of the same pattern, and this product is given out. Again a catalyst is ready for another reaction. So this is catalyst cycle. Types of catalyst. So here we have some 6 types of catalyst: positive catalyst, negative catalyst, induced catalyst, autocatalyst, biocatalyst, nanocatalyst, based on the impact on the rate of the reaction. Let us see one by one. Positive catalysts are otherwise called as accelerators. The substance which increase the rate of the reaction is known as positive catalyst, and it acts by decreasing the activation energy, and the process is called positive catalysis. Example, any catalytic reaction which speeds up the reaction is the positive catalyst or catalysis. Okay, so here we have the example: hydrogen peroxide in the presence of platinum forms water and oxygen, decomposition of hydrogen peroxide, right? Then decomposition of calcium chloride in the presence of magnesium oxide forms KCl and oxygen is liberated. So the activation energy, there is a lowering in the activation energy, and because of this the reaction speeds up easily. Negative catalyst, otherwise called as inhibitor or retardant, the substance which decreases the rate of the reaction is called as negative catalyst, and the phenomena is called as negative catalysis. It acts as to increase the activation energy of the reaction. In positive catalyst decreases the activation energy, negative catalyst increases the activation energy, and hence it retards the rate of the reaction or hinders the rate of the reaction. Oxidation of sodium sulfide by air is retarded by alcohol. Sodium sulfite in presence of oxygen, alcohol if I add, it retards the phenomena in formation of sodium sulfate. It slows down the process. Decomposition of hydrogen peroxide decreases in the presence of glycerin. So the process is retarded. Glycerin is a negative catalyst for hydrogen peroxide. Alcohol is a negative catalyst for sodium sulfite. Autocatalyst. In this type of catalysis, one of the product of the reaction act as catalyst. Okay. Consider hydrolysis of an ester. See here we have ethyl ester with water in the presence of acid. it forms acetic acid and ethanol, and acetic acid itself act as a catalyst. Once initially in such reaction, initially the rate of the reaction will be slow, and as time goes off, the rate of reaction increases because the autocatalyst amount also increases as the process increases, and they catalyze the reaction in a faster way. Again, we have another example of oxidation of oxalic acid. KMnO4 with oxalic acid in the presence of acid, that is sulfuric acid, forms MnSO4 and K2SO4, water and carbon dioxide. In that, MnSO4 act as an autocatalyst for the process. So when you do the titration with permanganate and oxalic acid, initially the rate of the reaction, that is the reaction will be very slow, pink color will disappear very slowly, but as the reaction increases, as you continue your titration, what happens? The pink color disappearance is faster because of MnSO4 acting as an autocatalyst, which is formed in the same reaction. Induced catalyst: when a chemical reaction induces another chemical reaction which is not feasible at ordinary temperature is called as induced catalysis. For example, sodium arsenite does not oxidize in the presence of air, but when sodium arsenite is in combination with sodium sulfide is oxidized, both the reaction get oxidized. So sodium sulfide induces sodium arsenite oxidation process. Oxidation of sodium sulfide induces the oxidation of sodium arsenite process. So hence it is called as induced catalyst, or the process is called as induced catalysis. Enzyme catalyst. In the history I told in 1835, the word catalysis was named, but when the world was formed, or when the living being is formed in this world itself, this enzyme catalyst was available in every living being's body, and this was functioning 10 times more faster, 100 times more faster than any other catalyst in the world. So it's always nature is nature. Nobody can win that. We can follow it, but we cannot win it. So enzyme catalyst is the increase in rate of the biological process. So in our body we have thousands of enzymes for doing lots of work for us. Most of the enzymes are protein in nature, and most such processes are chemical in nature. With the enzyme, generally catalysis occur at a localized site called as active site. So here are few examples about enzyme catalyst. It is inversion of cane sugar in the presence of invertase, formation of glucose and fructose. So the enzyme here is invertase, and we have glucose can be converted into ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide in the presence of zymase, and conversion of starch into maltase is in the presence of diastase. So again that is the enzyme which is used to convert easily starch into maltose. Last one is the nanocatalyst. The catalysts which we have already seen, if they are brought down to the scale of nano level, then they are called as nanomaterials or nanocatalysts, and they are generally heterogeneous in nature. And these nanocatalysts are generally metal nanoparticles which enhances the catalytic activity, which increases the rate of the reaction. Metal nanoparticles have high surface area and can increase the catalytic activity easily, and they can be easily separated and recycled also. What is speciality about nanocatalysts? They are highly active in nature, they have high selectivity, they have excellent stability, so that they can be easily recycled, easily separable from the product, energy efficient in nature, and also has atom economy. Certain examples of nanoparticles are given here: gold titanium oxide, platinum, palladium, ruthenium, which is used in catalytic converter, nanoporous catalyst, microporous catalyst, mesoporous catalyst, and selenium oxide, titanium oxide, nanocatalyst. Any catalyst brought down to the nanoscale is called as nanocatalyst. Thank you, student. Let us see types of catalysis in the next video. Thank you.